Morning, everybody.
Morning, Todd.
Morning.
It's good to have you all with us here today. Who wants to serve as the spokesperson to start us out here today? Because it is the campaign, and we want to at least introduce the fact that it is a campaign and what that means, Dave.
Yeah, that's the 2023 campaign.
Come on a little closer to the microphone.
The 2023 campaign actually started work on that back in November. The mailing for members just went out and should have hit the households as of yesterday, Monday. And if you haven't received it yet as a member of Citizens previously, you should get that in the next day or two. And what the membership drive does for Citizens, it helps fund our revenue stream. It's about 5% of our annual revenue from that program. And what we're here today is to boast on that, or to boost the membership recruiting of people that are not members of the community. And I have some stats to go over here and there of what the membership program is and what Citizens does in the community. So,
one of the interesting things about it is reading those numbers. Those are darned impressive. You think about number of calls and the number of people that are helped, but then when you look at the overall service area, the territory that is covered, the number of households that are covered, the people who are falling under the protective umbrella of Citizens Ambulance is just mind-boggling, isn't it?
It is, and especially given that we are a rural community, it makes the job of our group even a little bit more tougher to do. But I do want to brag a little bit, and in White Township and the borough, they usually answer a call in 8 minutes. Now, that goes out a little bit, and our goal is 20 minutes max, but we've got a big area to cover that isn't easily contained in one area like some other big cities.
Yeah, and I recall past conversations I've had, Doug, when we think about coverage of an area, when an ambulance is called to, say, Rural Valley, and it is therefore out of commission because those folks they've got their patient, they're working on that patient, they're transporting them somewhere, and Citizens Ambulance does cover even as far as that. Why then the way that the service shifts so other stations can cover an area that is vulnerable at one time, that takes a tremendous amount of coordination and dedication too.
Yeah, it does. The staff does a great job. When one station is called out, it's a system that's built to cover the entire county. So you'll see maybe an ambulance sitting along a road trying to figure out why they're there. Well, they've moved because they need coverage in a different area. So it's definitely a system, and the staff here at Citizens Ambulance does a great job in getting everybody covered. Yeah,
it really is amazing to me the amount of coordination that goes into something like that. All right, so let's talk what a membership entails. What happens when someone becomes a member of Citizens Ambulance?
Well, go ahead, Dave.
Okay, yeah, for the membership, senior households, so that's anybody under 62, and the household refers to anybody living underneath the roof, is how we say it. Even if you're a visitor at the time of an incident that may occur, you're considered to be a member under that membership application. So like I said, it's 65 annually for seniors, 62 and over, and normal households are $75 annually. And one of the biggest things that's sort of not looked at, what that membership does for Citizens Ambulance as an organization, it ensures that Citizens responds, or is there to respond, to help to pay the guys in the trucks and to pay the administration, pay the fuel, pay the insurance, pay the maintenance, pay for tires. It's all a big gambit. Just when you see the truck and it responds and it's there, you don't really think about it until you need it, unfortunately. One of the biggest things we have going on this year, we've been there for you, now we need you to be there for us.
Yeah.
In regards to this fund drive we're having for the membership. Now, the other benefit that a membership does offer is it reduces your out-of-pocket costs, copay or deductible by 50%. In the past, that's been 100% 5+ years ago. The way insurance companies bill or charge now with high copays, high deductibles, and things like that, we had to change that a little bit and make it at 50% of your write-off, which pays it for itself in one trip if you actually have to use that benefit as well.
And when you consider the life-saving mission of Citizens Ambulance Service, that's pretty well what they say, priceless, because of the fact that somebody who is living today who might not be otherwise. When we think about Citizens Ambulance as well, I think one of the things that we have to consider is the fact that you've got other funding sources that have stepped up, people recognizing the value of Citizens Ambulance, but right there at the foundational level is that this is, it's right there in the name, Citizens Ambulance Service. It's the people. It's the people's ambulance service.
It truly is, Todd. And I think something that we have to think about here while I have the opportunity today, when you say membership, I want to call it kind of a sponsorship, because I've been told by people, well, I don't need that. My insurance covers everything. Mm-hmm. That's not the idea. It's Citizens. Again, we want to keep it county-wide. We want to keep it up and running. And to do that, we need the community behind us.
Mm-hmm. The struggles that Citizens has had in the past, they're well documented. We've had, BJ has been in here quite often, and some others have talked about how difficult it is to operate an ambulance service in this day and age. We have compounded that in the past couple of years with COVID-19 and with the personnel problems that every organization is facing. With Citizens, Doug, is that not a critical thing?
Yeah, it's money and people, and it's like 1A and 1 and 1A. They're both major issues right now for us, and I don't know when that will, when we'll get out of that. But certainly the people finding help is a crisis situation right now.
And with someone who works with Citizens Ambulance Service, whether they're a paramedic, an EMT, whatever the role is that they play with citizens, there's a tremendous amount of training, therefore a tremendous amount of dedication that is required for them to be with Citizens Ambulance Service. You have to have confidence that the people who go out in an ambulance run are the people who are qualified to be there. And so you make sure that the training is there, that they are qualified and are expert at what they do. And we just had the IRMC folks in here talking about stroke and the coordination with citizens when there's a stroke. That's that training and those sorts of expertly applied treatments. Those don't just happen. Those take a tremendous amount of, again, dedication, intelligence, and skill.
Yeah, and recognizing those things first thing when those guys show up on scene, it's life-saving what those guys do in the trucks. So kudos to them as well in regards to that. So yeah, they do see a lot, and they're like other medical personnel, medical professionals. They have to eliminate the emotional aspect of it and get done what needs to be done. Okay, so we've talked about Citizens Ambulance, the membership drive, the membership campaign, and how important it is to the service and to the people who take advantage of the service. How does one become a member? What must one do? Like I said, the mailing for members, current members, should be in your mailbox if it hasn't come already in the next day or so. The bulk mailing for the non-members will go out in the next week, and that is the mail that goes to every household in our service area that blankets through a mailing list. Mm-hmm. The application and a couple other pieces of information are in there as well. If you don't want to wait for that mail, you can go to www.citizensambulance.org, and on that page on the left-hand side, you'll see a green selection that says "Support Us Now," and part of that is the membership application and process is right there to pay online via credit card.
Yeah. So we talked about people and the people who work for Citizens Ambulance. I'm sure that if somebody wants to become a worker with Citizens Ambulance, that you would love to have them come along and join up.
And actually in that mailing is a flyer that states the rates for van drivers, our EMTs, our EMTAs, and our paramedics. So it's actually part of that mailing that's there. So if you're interested in that, the information is there, how to contact the HR department. Also, the website that I had mentioned, on the bottom right-hand side, you can click to apply now.
Yeah.
There's an application process right there. You click on it, fill it out, send it back to us, and you're good to go. So we would appreciate as many of those that can come in as possible, just like
Sure.
memberships as well, because we do need the help.
Which and I'm guessing that for a lot of people, they think, oh well, I'm not qualified to get into the back of an ambulance, but that's the back door. There are people who go in the back door of the ambulance. There are people who go into the driver's side door as well, the front doors of the ambulance, and those are different sets of skills. Those are different sets of employees.
Yes, we've had a lot of people that were van drivers just for medical transportation, wheelchairs or walk-on patients that have evolved into, hey, this looks pretty fun. Something I might be interested in, and boom, they're in the EMT class.
Yeah.
Through IUP, we have a great relationship with those guys over at IUP to get this training done, and the paramedic class as well. So, and those are things we can certainly want to bring up here and put a little series together for you guys.
Sure.
To educate the public on that, because there's so many facets that happen on a daily basis for it's a county-run organization for citizens, and we strive to maintain that county-wide system just because it works so well to serve everyone in the county.
Yeah.
Primarily everyone in the county. So.
The membership campaign is underway. We hope that you, if you are not a member, will consider becoming one. If you are a member, that you will renew. Sandy, is there anything else that you wanted folks to know about the Citizens
Well, one
Ambulance?
quick note I would like to say. Our membership is made up of primarily 80% seniors. It's the younger folks that think they don't need it. And guess what? They have kids. They're doing stuff at their homes that seniors don't, and it's needed. So I guess our plea and focus would be the older folks know. I know what it's like not to have an ambulance service. I remember that. So I think for the younger people, we need them to step it up and send in that application.
My granny used to tell me, you're not invincible. At some point in your life, you become vincible. So, Citizens Ambulance Service, if you don't get the mailer, make sure you get to them. And we heard from Dave a few moments ago the various ways you can do that. Thanks so much to all of you for coming in to visit with us today.
Thank you very much, Todd.
Thanks for having us in.
It is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM and AM 1160. Coming up in a couple of moments, Boomer has sports from CBS, and then it's Jake Slobodnik in our WCCS newsroom. Complete look at sports is on the way as well, anticipating the Indiana County Commissioners coming to visit in our next half hour. Indiana in the Morning, as always, is presented by First Commonwealth Bank on the voice of Indiana County, WCCS 101.1 FM and AM 1160.